Hi and welcome. I'm Mark Shaughnessy. Uh, I'm a professor at MMA, and I'm going to be a professor online for BA647 Strategic Marketing for Global Supply Chain Managers. I think it's really important in this class as we start that we all get to know each other a little bit and what our backgrounds are and so forth. So I'm going to give you a quick bio of me, sort of what I've done, where I come from, my background, and some of the things I like to do. And also, I would like each of you to do the same. And at the end of this, I'll be outlining an assignment for you to also provide a bio to me and to all of your fellow students. So that's kind of what we're at. So this is a virtual classroom. We don't get to chat with coffee beforehand. So this is kind of an idea that or a way for us to get to know each other a little bit. I think it's really important in this kind of a class that we do know each other, and I think it's really important that you know each, not just me, but each of the other students, so that you can use their knowledge and experience as well as your own. In many cases in grad school, you will learn more from your fellow students than you may from the professor. So that's kind of how we're going to kick off things here. So who am I? I'm doesn't seem to want to go to. There we go. Who am I? There we go. Got the new slide. So I am. I'm married and have been for many years. Have 2 children, both of whom are adults. My son lives in New Zealand and is a bit of an entrepreneur. He has started a company building hi-fi equipment. He's sort of at the high end of the hi-fi market and doing custom equipment both for audiophiles and for event spaces. So that's kind of what he does, and he's also an engineer who went to college to be an engineer, mechanical engineer, and then worked in the sailing industry for some period of time as an engineer working on masts and booms for large sailing craft, and ended up his career there working for Oracle for the America's Cup challenge, which they won 5 years ago. So that's his background. He still does some engineering and design in the marine industry on a consulting basis, and has his own company. He's married and has a young child, and so that's him. And then my daughter also is living outside the U.S. She's living in Vancouver, British Columbia, and works for a small startup clothing company as their head designer and product developer. So both of them are well launched, and I've got time to teach, which is good. My own background, I went to both college and grad school as a finance and accounting major. After completing school, I worked for 5 years for a CPA firm in the Boston area. That firm was a relatively small firm, about 30 professionals, I think, 30 CPAs. And our clientele was closely held companies, so companies that were owner-operated for the most part. Some were quite large, many were quite small, and I worked both as an auditor and then also as a financial consultant for some of those companies, and really liked doing that. It was fun, and I learned a huge amount about how businesses are run and how they're run well and how they're run not so well. And after about 5 years, I decided that really going forward, accounting was probably not what I wanted to focus on, and so I actually went out and became an entrepreneur. Started in the outdoor sports business and a wholesale business, merged or acquired or morphed that business into a variety of other businesses all in the outdoor sports world, but a variety of different things in retail and wholesale. And then started an import business also in the outdoor sports business, importing European goods into the U.S. and setting up a distribution system across North America, really, U.S. and Canada. So did all that, and then started teaching about a dozen years ago. I had sold my businesses, moved to Maine, ran the import business for a while I was in Maine, and my wife was not really excited about the fact that I was traveling somewhere between 40 and 50 weeks a year. So I was never home because my business required me to go to Europe and all over the U.S. and Canada, and sold that business and said, gee, I wonder what I'm going to do now. And luckily MMA was looking for somebody with my credentials, so I've been teaching for 12 years now, I guess, and really like it, enjoy it a lot. And I teach accounting and finance, both undergraduate and graduate. And I also teach marketing because marketing is what I did for most of my career as an entrepreneur. So my academic credentials are in accounting and finance, but my experience was both included accounting and finance, but was really focused on marketing. So that's kind of my background. I really love sailing. Have spent any day I spend on the water is a good day. Have a small sailboat, 30-foot small cruising boat that my wife and I cruise in. Spent a lot of time when I was younger racing in dinghies, everything from 470s in pre-Olympic competition way back when I was young and spry, and then raced a boat called a windmill, which is also a small racing dinghy, and I think there's actually a picture of one here. That's a windmill with my wife crewing for me, and love the small boat sailing, but as I've gotten older and creakier, that's become harder to do, so now I do most of my sailing in a somewhat larger boat. I've been lucky enough working at MMA to be able to commute to work by boat. I live right across the river in Brooksville, and the boat commute is about 5 minutes on a small power boat, and the drive is 40 minutes. So commuting by boat is pretty nice, and I really do enjoy working at MMA, and I enjoy teaching, and hopefully you'll enjoy this course. A few of you have had me before, either in the online graduate course. I teach the accounting and finance course, so you may have had me in that, or some of you are MMA grads, bachelor's degree grads, and in that case you probably had me as an undergraduate in either marketing or accounting and finance. So you may know me, but certainly not all of you don't know me. So that's kind of me. In terms of what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to also provide a short bio and post it to the discussion that I will open for you. That bio should do what I've done. Tell me and your fellow students what you're about, what it is that you do, what's your background, what it is you love to do. I mean, for me, it's being on the water. Sailing is sort of what I would do all the time if I didn't have other things that I needed to do. And I guess in Maine it's a little hard to do recreational sailing in the winter too, so that doesn't work. If you can do it as a video, as I did, that's great. That would be terrific. If you don't have that technical capability, then you can post it as a Word document or a discussion document. And I would like you to post that in the week one module as an assignment. And when you finished posting, it will open up so that you can see other students' posts. And I want you to comment and discuss with at least 3 other students regarding common experiences. So what have you done the same? I mean, if you attended MMA as undergrads, you have something in common relative to Castine, but there may be lots of other commonalities in the group with where you grew up, or with your jobs, or with your common friends, or whatever. So please comment back and forth on each other's bios. So that's kind of the initial assignment. It's good to get to know you all. I'm looking forward to reading your bios and seeing who it is that's out there on the other side of the ether. And good luck with the course. Just following this, you'll also see a video going over the syllabus. That's also something I would like you to pay attention to. It's important to understand what our goals are and what we expect to achieve in this course. So I will run through the syllabus with you also in a video, and then we'll start going and diving into the material as well. Thanks very much for listening, and good night.